Well, my name's Kevin Miller.
And I'm Kevin Bates.
And we are both pastors ordained in the United Methodist Church. We've been in this area now for a little over 3 years. We're part of an organization. It's becoming a nonprofit, but a ministry called Way in the Wilderness.
We describe our location very purposefully. When people ask, where's your church community or where's the pilgrimage, we don't say Black Mountain or Montreat. We say the upper Swannanoa River watershed. Watersheds, however, are a very distinct set of relationships. You're very much connected to the rivers and to the soil and to the flora and fauna around you. And when those relationships are out of balance, you see it in the health of a watershed. So we designed this pilgrimage that's about 13.5 miles. It starts in the very southernmost portion of the upper Swannanoa River watershed in Christmount, and it moves all the way through the town of Black Mountain, along the different tributaries of the Swannanoa.
So along the pilgrimage, we stop at a number of different places, particularly places that lean into an ethic of care for creation.
Pilgrimage for us signified something that meant it was an intentional walking, a slow walking. I can tell you about a river that's impaired and say, hey, it's got a macroinvertebrate community that's impaired in the river, which is a sign of bad stormwater runoff into the river. I can tell you these sort of things, but I could also tell you some good things about what's going on in our community, some beautiful spaces, but it's a whole nother thing to experience something. For us, we've understood pilgrimage as a way of learning through our bodies. That it's not just our minds that we learn through. And so for us, we wanted to share some of the very real things that are happening in our community. We're experiencing some real issues around flooding, and it's not just now. This has been going on from 1916 and the great flood that we had in our community then, all the way up to Tropical Depression Fred, just most recently. And we're experiencing flooding events caused by stormwater runoff that are happening at a greater and greater consistency because of our impaired river. Our hope in having people experience it with their bodies is that they will come to a greater depth of knowing. Knowing is one of the ways in which we move towards caring and love. Become a part of this community, this watershed, in a way that just thoroughly grounded ourselves in a place.
I think place is huge. I think it's really, really important. One of the foundation points of everything we do here is this realization, this understanding that to care for something, you have to know it, and part of knowing something is loving it. We'll be better community members. So we're excited about all the ways that we can grow in our own understanding of place. This is where we want to be. This is where we will be.
You got to get in and know the stories, know your neighbors, know your community, human and non-human alike.
One of the differences between a pilgrimage and what often is a hike or just a walk is sometimes a hike is about a destination where we're trying to get to a certain peak or a certain overlook, a certain mountain. And pilgrimage, while there is an end point, of course, there's a destination. It's not primarily about that destination. It's about the journey along the way. When folks walk on pilgrimage with us, when they take time out of their day to walk on pilgrimage, that but that there's something transformative that will begin like a seed within them and take shape and grow that can then be taken back to their own communities or applied here as we better care for some of these impaired places. As we continue to find new ways to care for all that's around us, including the Swannanoa River, or if they come from a distance, that they can take it back to their own areas and apply it in their own places.
Pilgrims who are coming from out of town, they're going to go back to their communities, to their watersheds, and they're going to say, hey, maybe this is something that I'd like to see done, or maybe that inspired me to something. For others who are in this location, it'll be, maybe I know my community a little bit better.